on my first hike in August of 2019. At the time, I was going through a lot personally, working a lot of day-to-day stresses, and hiking was something that was always in the back of my mind that I wanted to start, but I didn't really know how to get started. So my friend Matt, he's an avid outdoorsman, and I had mentioned to him I wanted to go hiking, so he invited me out with him and his wife, and a couple days later, we went hiking at Castlewood State Park. It was short trails, about 1.7 miles, but it was so beautiful, so therapeutic, and it was exactly what I needed at the time. That kind of started my hiking journey, and then it was like from there on, I went hiking every Sunday for the next 40 weeks, and started Black People Who Hike a couple weeks after that. When I was hiking, I noticed a couple things. I noticed, one, I didn't see anybody else on the trail that looked like me, and then two, I was so in love with hiking, and I was trying to share it with people that I knew that also looked like me. And people would kind of just, they wouldn't respond to my text messages. They leave me on red. So I realized, hey, this is a need for something in the community. This is something that people of color need to be able to experience, and I just wanted to introduce more people to it. Historically, Black people have been excluded from the outdoors. It's definitely a huge barrier that we've faced, and that something at my organization is trying to tackle. Even if you think about the national parks, people of color weren't allowed equally into the park system until desegregation with the 1950s, and then even then, was it a safe place to go? So typically, and again, this doesn't apply to all people of color, but Black people are typically have this fear around spending time outside. A lot of the parks that we visit, majority of the parks that we visit, are in rural areas where it may be unsafe to travel or to be out there alone. People continue to come out because they feel welcome, they feel safe. We've even had people that have came out that they hike regularly. They might just go to a Castlewood or something, but we went to Down in Robinson a few weeks back, and it's about an hour and a half outside of the city, and they're like, this is beautiful, but I would have never traveled out here alone. I think in terms of the benefits around hiking, there's obviously the physical. You're hiking, you're exerting energy, you're exercising. The mental, though, is super important, as well as the spiritual. So I know even myself, when I was hiking weekly, it was as if each week I'd come out on the trail and I would come back and I'd find out something different about myself, or I would connect a little bit further with my inner self or with God or with the universe. It's just to be out here and to literally be out here in silence, and all you can hear is, yourself and nature. It definitely creates a space, a very intimate space with, again, whatever people want to call it, whether that's God or the universe, or, the higher being. When I first started hiking, it was like, hey, I'm a Black person that hikes. This is, there wasn't many people that I knew. So it was like, hey, we hike too. And it just really evolved into just a movement. What we want to do is, be able to create generational health. So if you think about, for instance, somebody's parents, like my parents are they were born in the 50s. So if you think about another Black person, their parents being born in the 50s, were they hiking? Were they having access to these type of spaces growing up? Probably not. Did they then pick up that activity and introduce it to their kids? Maybe, maybe not. But it's kind of like this is a generation where we're able to really start that access to generational health and teach our kids and teach our friends and teach our family and to everyone to join this movement, and we hike too and we're out here. Hiking allowed me to find myself and unapologetically be myself and walk in my shoes and walk in my purpose. And I know that what I'm doing is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be at.